welcome to Faith and Yoga at St. Bartholomew's. I'm Dixie and I'd like to welcome you to our session today, along with Judy, Aaron, Fred, and Pat. We have been having some new things happening with yoga. We started using blocks a little bit more in our practice, and sometimes we have music and sometimes we don't. So we are going to incorporate those into today's session. But now it's time to ask Fred, what time is it?
It's time to walk around the block.
All right.
We're going to do our clock circle, so we'll start out at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, change feet, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and back to 12.
And I thank you, Fred, for sharing that with us. The two scriptures that I picked today that correspond with today's practice have to do with walking, but walking with God. And the first one is from 2 Corinthians, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." And the other one is from Ephesians 5:2, "And walk in love as Christ loved us, and gave himself up for us, a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God." Well, we've introduced some new ways of walking into our practice, and I'd like to share them with you now. The first one is a mountaintop walk. So I'm just going to step off my mat here, and we will be doing this, but right now it's demonstration time. So we're going to stand with our hips, our feet about hip distance apart and ground in. We are going to sweep our arms up, our fingertips touch, stretch up, come up to your toes, and now take a few steps on this mountaintop. Option to keep fingers together, or you can let them come apart. But this tiptoe, arms up mountain walking is one of the new kinds. So we'll return to that and down. Okay, very good. Judy has agreed to demonstrate backward walking backwards. And the benefits from backward walking are it benefits the knees. It gives the synovial fluid a different direction to kind of work in. So Judy, if you wouldn't mind coming up here and just demonstrate what backward walking is like. And then you can turn around and walk backwards again. She's doing a very good job of demonstrating this. To be mindful of it and to get the full benefit, this is a good example. All right, thank you, Judy. The next one is the crow walk, and I'm going to ask Fred to come up here and demonstrate that for us. He's modified it simply because the original one has us down very low in doing this. And the other thing is to remember is to have your arms on your thighs while you're doing this. So go ahead, Fred, show your crow walk. This helps aid in digestion. And I saw a crow when I pulled in here this morning, and I couldn't help but smile because I knew what was coming up. All right, thank you, Fred. We'll be doing that later on. And I'm going to swing over here to a little bit of an obstacle that I've set up, and this has to do with brain working with your feet and your whole body when you're walking along obstacles. So I'm going to start here with my left hip over here and just walk around the obstacles. As you know, this comes in handy in parking lots and grocery stores too, when you're walking around people. So just being mindful that your brain is doing several things while you're taking a walk. The next one we need to get down on our mat for. So join me on your mat in a sitting position. And this is the hip walk. And just like it's called the hip walk, your hips are going to benefit from this motion. So you want to roll your hips forward as you kind of scooch along your mat, working forward as much as you're able to, and then bring it on back the other direction. All right. So with that walk, you're going to find that you're using your core and that you're also really getting some good synovial fluid movement into your hip joints as well. So there you go. That's 5 new ways to incorporate walking into your yoga practice, as well as our all-time favorite, intentional walking, where you walk and you make sure that your foot is feeling the ground, the mat, and all surfaces underneath it. Okay, so let's take a moment while we're here. Check in with your posture. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and let your chin come to chest. Take another breath in. Rise your head up. Let your head go back if your neck allows it, and look up towards the ceiling or the sky or wherever you might happen to be today. Looking up. And as you exhale, bring your chin to chest. Taking just a moment here. Maybe you have an intention you'd like to set today. Maybe you have some thoughts of gratitude. And just taking a moment to center your thoughts and yourself. Next breath in, just bring yourself back up. And we're going to start by working our neck a little bit here. So we're just going to turn our head to your right. Turn your head towards your right. And now turn it a little bit more and see if you can look around over your shoulder. Holding here. And return to center. And now turn your head and look over your left. And then turn a little more if your neck allows it. Once again, check in with your posture if you find yourself slumping a little bit. Back to center. Do a chin to chest. And now once again, look up. Let your head go back. And then come on back here. We're going to loosen our shoulders up here. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. And then let them down. Up. And down. Up. And down. Now we're going to roll the shoulders backwards. And down. And now up and down. One more time here. Now put your arms out in front of you. We're going to grasp your right elbow and pull it across your chest. Letting your fingers have a little bit of movement here. Maybe open and close a loose fist. Once again, check in with your posture. And now just simply hold here for a moment. You can release that. Bring your arms out again. Take the opposite arm across, and the same thing. Wiggle your fingers, a loose, open, and closed fist. And pulling that shoulder across gently while checking in once again with your posture. Just 2 more breaths here, letting the hand just be natural. Releasing and letting it come back. We're going to move on. We're going to bring our knee up to our chest, hug it in, wrap our arm around it, bring your left arm out, open and around, put it behind you and do a little twist, looking behind you. You can bring that arm back around, and let the leg go back, and we're going to bring our opposite knee in, wrap our arm around that, swing it out and around with a twist, looking over our shoulder. Breathing in and out, in and out. One more breath in. And you can bring that back. Now bring the soles of your feet together into toddler or butterfly. Once again, check in with your posture. Maybe you pull the heels back into the groin area a little bit more, but let your legs have this up and down motion. We're starting to see butterflies in our South Hanover neighborhood. I saw 2 yellow swallowtails, so be on the lookout. They're in the area, always a joy to see. Okay, you can slow that down. Now set your feet, soles of your feet up. Once again, lean forward a little bit. Take your right arm up, around, put it in the space that your left provides, and have your hand grasp your ankle. The same thing with the other arm, bring it up, put it in the space provided here by your leg, and pull in for tortoise. The very grounding type position, and you can walk your legs back a little bit more if that feels good, and hold on to this position of tortoise. Breathing in deep and out. In and out. And 2 more breaths here. You can release them. And now, back into staff position, hands out by your side. Breathe in. Arms go up, fingertips touch. Grasp a hold of your left wrist and pull it across for a gentle side bend. Come back up, reach up, grasp the opposite elbow and pull across. Return to center. Stretch up, and this time we're going to hinge from the hips and bend forward. The goal is to see if you can get to your toes or wherever you get to, that is fine. Letting the stretch lengthen out as you can, bending your knees a little bit if you need to, breathing deep into this space. And then releasing, and let your hands trace up through your shins and your knees. We're going to do it one more time. Maybe you go a little farther this time. Let your arms up by your side. Breathe in, arms go up. Hinge forward towards the toes, holding here. Have adding movement to deepen your stretch. Breathing in deep, letting it go. Breathing in, letting it go. One more breath in, and you can release it. All right, we're going to swing around to tabletop position and get our cat and cows in. So as always, in tabletop position, you want your hands to be spread wide. You want to be mindful of the alignment of your shoulders, your elbows, and your wrists, and also your hip and your knees. And when you look back, you should not be able to see your toes. So let's get that. We're going to do a total of 5, connecting our breath with our inhales and exhales. So let yourself just move a little bit. And when you're ready, inhale and let your belly drop. Gaze looks up for cow. Exhale, pull your belly button into your spine as you arch your back up for cat. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale, arch your back. And we have 3 more to go here. You go ahead and connect your breath. And just one more because it seems to be going very good here. And exhale it out. We're going to put out our right side kickstand and lift our arm up and open our heart. Breathing in deep to the space this provides. And out. Breathing in deep. And out. Option to let that elbow bend down, taking your hand behind your back, pulling that shoulder back a little bit more to open up the heart more. Breathing in and out. In and out. If you had your arm bent, you can bring it back up and bring that down. Let yourself have a little bit of movement from side to side. Putting the opposite kickstand out, and once again, opening up that arm and your heart. Option to let that hand bend down and pull that shoulder back. Return it up and bring it back down. And let yourself have a little bit of movement. And we're going to come up to our knees here. We're going to bring our arms back behind us. Grasp our fingers, pull our shoulder blades together, let our heart come out, and pull a stretch down. Notice which hand you have on top, because we're going to do it again, and we'll reverse hands. Taking a breath in, and out. And then release it, giving your hands a little shake. And once again, bringing those arms up and around. Holding with the opposite arm, pulling those shoulder blades together, heart comes forward, and breathe in. And one more big breath. Okay, great. Once again, do a little shake out, and we're going to move on to spinal balance here. So in spinal balance, once again, we return to that tabletop position for our starting point. Once again, just check in with your positioning. We're going to start by flexing our right foot, shutting the door behind us, and reaching out with our left. Engage your core and hold here. And then bring it back in. Good job. Let yourself move a little from side to side. Let that hand have a shake. All right. So we are ready. We are going to extend the left foot back. The foot is flexed, and extend the right hand. Engage your core. Bring it back. Let the toes come together. Let your legs separate. And let's go back for a child's pose. Option to let your hands come up into prayer hands. Breathing in and out. In and out. Breathing in and out. A little bit longer here. From child's pose, you can put your hands back on the mat. We're going to tuck our toes, lift up, and come up to our down dog. So here in down dog, we're going to pedal out. And let ourselves rock forward and back. And now we are going to walk forward into a standing forward fold. Letting our head hang heavy. If you need to soften your knees, please go ahead and do that. Grasping opposite elbows. Letting yourself sway from side to side. Head hangs heavy, shaking the head yes, shaking the head no, releasing the arms, coming up to a flat back and a half forward fold. Letting yourself come back to forward fold. And very slowly let yourself come back up. Very good. Okay. So we were talking about the blocks. And well, we've always had yoga blocks. We've used them before, but usually only one at a time. But I have to share with you an experience we had when our two-year-old granddaughters came to visit. And I have a whole toy box of toys, but what they wanted to play with were yoga blocks. Who knew yoga blocks could be so much fun? But they are, trust me, they are. So they do all kinds of, well, creative things with yoga blocks, from making steps to making chairs. But we are going to use the yoga blocks today for a warm-up here. So grab both of your yoga blocks. And remember when you were in elementary school, maybe, when they still had erasers and chalkboards? Maybe you were one of the lucky kids that got to go clap the erasers. So we're going to hold, if your hand is large enough, to hold the yoga blocks like this. And recently I shared I was just at a concert and it had a lot of drums and cymbals in the first part of it. So get yourself so you're standing about a little more than hip distance apart. And we're going to see if we can make ourselves come together as we did at our other class when we did this. So, are we ready? So we're going to lift up. Now we're going to come together in the middle, and this is our clap. Up and around. And let's do it again. Up and around. Yeah, we're doing good. Great. 3 more. Hold. We're going to go the other direction. We're going to clap at top. And hold. Great job. Great job. Now we're just going to take one block. And with this one block, we're going to hold it like it's almost like a sign. And we're just going to push it out in front of us. And then pull it back in. Do a push out. Pull back. Push it out. Pull it back. And what I should have said, if you don't have yoga blocks at home, you can use a book or a box of cereal or whatever you have that can be about the same size. The oatmeal box is about the same size as this. Okay, so we're going to push out and we're going to be turning while we're holding this out to the left. So go ahead and turn to the left, holding here, back to the center, turning to the right, back to center, and again. Make sure it's a good turn. To center, turn, center, back, to center. And we'll do one more. Okay, bring it back in. We're going to use this block as part of our mountain walk that we're going to do. So if you want to come to the back of your mat, I'm going to come just out because I have a plant at the back of my mat. And so in mountain pose, you want to, once again, be with your hips like hip distance apart. We're holding the block. We're going to take a breath in and press upward. Now for this mountain walk, we want to go up on our toes. So come up on your toes and start walking on your mat. When you get to the top, just simply turn around and come back. It feels so different than what we're used to doing. So let's do this a few times. Fred, can you think of a way we could use this for a crow walk? If you can, it's all right, but you can come up and do the crow walk again for us.
The modified crow walk, you could probably put your forearms on your elbows, hold the block in front of you one way or the other. If you're afraid, that was the easiest.
Thank you, Fred. Judy, would you care to do that with your backward walk demonstration? Sure. do it one more time. And turn around. And thank you, Judy. And yesterday, we used the blocks when we walked around the obstacle, because that's just one more thing that you're doing here, using these blocks and kind of navigating yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and do the obstacle course here. Makes your brain work just a little bit harder. And then I'm going to ask my friends if they don't mind each doing the obstacle course with their blocks too. So Judy, if you want to start in, go ahead. Okay, thank you, everyone. So we're going to come back to the back of our mat, but before we put our blocks down, we're going to place them near the top, and I'm going to say we're going to put them in this position. We can move them either up or down if we find that one or the other works best for us. But for right now, you can place your mat near the top. So, and then come back to the back of your mat. We're going to take a breath in, arms go up. Exhale, down and around. Hands come to heart center and pause just for a moment. Bring those arms up so you have your prayer arms up. Take a breath in. Exhale out. And let your hands drop. So once again, we're going to take another breath in. Arms come up. We're going to soften our knees, bend